Jordan Tower with JT News. Well, Puffy's old bodyguard speaks out again about the whole Tupac and Biggie problem, and he kind of revealed a couple more things. And this is all leading up to his documentary that's coming out that he paid for and shot himself called The Raw Deal, just to make sure that nobody could stop his story from being told. He said he tried to tell it a few times before, but, you know, there were problems, like, with the people that funded it. So
I've been talking about this since '97. Since Bad Boy sent the LAPD to my job. Can't pay your way, you can't pray your way out of this one.
Like, Biggie and Pac, and how Diddy really didn't care if they had to die for him to go further in his career.
But you didn't feel comfortable enough to go to the meeting that could have saved both of those kids.
And he talked about a few incidences, like in this little clip here. He talked about a City College incident I guess Puffy and Biggie were at, and a stampede occurred wherein Puffy ran the other way and just, you know, got the hell out of there. And basically this guy was the one to have to get everybody out of the whole arena.
At City College, bro. I was the one at City College that opened the doors to help save those kids when you ran the other way.
And he said, you know, Puffy's kind of like soft like that. And then he also talked about the allegations that Puffy had Pac or Biggie murdered. And he said, that's not in your makeup, but you didn't care if they died. And he also revealed another story before the whole kind of beef was kind of stirring up. Puffy was out in LA and they were riding around with a reporter. Wolf was in the car, Riz, this guy, and Puff, and a reporter. And
doing an interview with you and everything like that in the car. So next thing you know, Pac, and we see Suge. You say, Suge, we got any problems? Everything good with us, man? Everything straight? Suge said, everything's straight. He said, we ain't got no problem out here? He said, I don't know no problem. The reporter, I bet not ever.
They ran into Tupac and Suge, and Wolf made Puffy talk to Suge and Pac, and he rolled up on Pac, and Pac didn't even want to speak to Puffy. He didn't like Puffy. He didn't mess with him. So he spoke to Suge, and Suge said, "Yo, you don't got no problem out here with me." And that was it. And then Puffy like threatened the reporter, like, "Don't ever talk about that." Da 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 da. And this guy went on to say that, you know, Puffy could have prevented the murder of these two guys. You know, he could have went out of his way, and he could have prevented Biggie and Pac from, like, beefing to this level and murders occurring, you know, because it just boiled out of control. You know, he could have probably ended it all right there, but he didn't. And he said he had numerous times to end it, but Puffy's whole thing was, I don't care if somebody has to die for me to go further. And damn, that's kind of, I mean, I guess it's in this guy's character. I don't know, because think about how he exploits his artists and doesn't pay them. I mean, there's too many reports of that happening. It's almost like Birdman is the same way. You know, he'll exploit people and not pay them properly and then get away with it. But this guy even said that Puffy had LAPD sent to his job when he released his first, like, small little DVD in the 90s about this whole incident. Puffy sicked the LAPD on him and had them look into the whole incident and of the DVD, like in this story being told. You know, he said Puffy's basically been trying to shut him down. And the last thing he ended with was, if he was able to tell this story, you would never be sipping on Ciroc. You'd be in jail, and you would be taking it up the butt. So Puffy must have had some doing to this guy. Well, to this guy, allegedly Puffy had some doing here in the murders. And I mean, I can't imagine wanting to kill somebody just to get money, but some people were built like this. Some people have to fall on the sword in order for them to go further in life. But this will be an interesting documentary. I look forward to coming out, and I'll put the link below for the GoFundMe and everything, and for the clips.